be Peter Martino, because he never lets us down. So we'll just kibitz a little bit until we know we got some kind of people.
Viewers, yeah.
Yeah. Yep, here we are, just sitting here. I'm just sitting here reminiscing, wondering what you've been missing, boy.
Well, we're at the 14th, so we're 10 days before Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
It doesn't even seem like it.
No.
Because you
not
know,
even a little.
you have no snow out there.
Yep.
A little cold.
Cold,
no
real
snow.
cold. This
Yeah.
night. Got real cold. I took the trash out last night. I almost got frostbite.
Yeah.
So any second now, these guys better start coming on. Come on, boys. Where you be, boy? All right. Well, I usually do a count. I count up. There he is. Okay. Let's see. Who's that? We have
Rick James.
Rick James, my man. Well, Rick, I'll be out there before you know it. I'll be out there just before Christmas. I'm leaving here on the 20th. And I'm looking forward to seeing my man Freedom. Who else is that?
It's Peter Martino. Merry Christmas.
Peter Martino. Listen, I got to say one thing. This show is happening this evening because of my friend Eddie. He said, Donny, we got to do another show because it's almost Christmas time and we got to kind of like sign off for Christmas for our friends. So that's why I am doing this show this evening. Not that I wouldn't have done it, but I'd rather do it with Eddie because when push came to shove, Eddie jumped in and saved me a couple of times. You know, there was one time he got sick, but I don't believe him. I still believe he was fucking lying. Now, how do we look with Santa hats on? We did this only for you guys. You got to know that, right? Yeah, this is the season for so many different emotions, you know. This is the time that lonely people become suicidal. Unfortunately, that stuff happens at this time of the year. Some people get really happy and some people get really sad. The one thing I miss the most about Christmas, and there's a lot of things that I'm saddened about. Christmas is not my favorite time of the year. The food. I used to go to my mother's house initially with the 7 fish.
Oh,
the 7 fishes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my sister did it for years too. So that's what I miss the most. I mean, after you lose your parents and other people.
Yeah. It's not the holidays aren't like it used to be with the families.
Yeah,
mothers, fathers, grandmothers.
My God, horrible.
And like we would have a big feast.
Yeah.
You know, we'd have the big stuffed clams. My father would make crab gravy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, stuffed mushrooms, you name it, they ate.
Oh, I know.
And they made it. And
my father made the best cohogs. My father.
Oh, yeah, the sea clams.
Yeah, yeah.
And
the cohogs too, though.
Right. We would go down Revere Beach, get the big sea clams.
Yeah.
Stuff them with the mince clams.
Yeah.
With the ready mixed breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
And unbelievable.
Who's that? Rick James is back in town. Let's see what he got to say now. Okay, let's see. Have a great stream. We'll talk when you get here. I'm going to the HOA party. I'm not happy for sure. I love you, brother. Okay, and I will see you when we get out there. We'll go to we can't even go to McDonald's anymore. They don't have it, but I'll see you at Walmart. We'll have coffee somewhere around there. Take care, buddy. All right, so this is the time of the year. You know, your heart might go out to people that you know that are in hospitals, and maybe they're so old that a lot of their family members forget about them, and they're destined to be lonely. All they have is their memories, and a lot of the memories make them even more lonely, the sad memories. So I think of people like that a lot, And I've had a lot of sad moments at Christmas time as well, as you, Eddie.
Oh, yeah.
We have had some sad moments. But also I think of them, and I also, think of how many people out there have lost loved ones, and it comes back and haunts them. So, once upon a time, I heard somebody say, Christmas is for kids. I loved Christmas when I was a kid until I hit the age of 17. And I knew at that time Christmas was over for me. I remember being with my sister Norma, and I was just getting ready to go into the Army. 17-year-old kid. I see kids at 17 and I say, oh my God, in heaven, they could never survive it. I don't even know how the hell I did, And I remember my sister saying to me, Donny, what's the matter? I said, Norma, Christmas is never going to be the same again. And I had tears going down my eyes, down my cheeks. And I said, the Christmases that we knew are gone forever. And I was right. After that, things just got worse and worse. The only time I kind of enjoyed it a little when my kids were little and I could do something for them and see them be happy. So that was the best thing for me at the time. Another thing that we lose sight of and lose track of are the people out there, and I'm sure a lot of my viewers, my friends, know what I'm talking about. People that are incarcerated at this time of the year. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. Eddie knows way better than me. I only did 4.5 months, and I was ashamed to tell anybody that's all I did. Eddie did a chunk of change. Eddie did a lot of time. And how about the times at Christmas time? The sadness that comes over you.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I was in the hole at the time. And, the worst, it's the worst time in my life.
Yeah. Well, thank God they gave you the big stuffed lobster and that.
Yeah, sure. They, I felt for my, bad for my daughters.
Yeah.
Because they suffered.
Of course.
And, they'd come and visit me at Christmas and the holidays, but it was very hurtful when they left. And, and my little daughter, Irene, says, come on, Dad, let's go.
Yeah.
I can't go. I have to stay here.
Terrible.
They don't know. They don't know, but I try to smile and make the best of it, But, we don't only hurt ourselves, we hurt our children.
Yeah. Exactly.
And our parents and our brothers, everybody, our friends.
And you rethink your whole life. You say, why did I do this?
Stupidity.
Why did I do that? And, I know that I visited a friend of mine for 16 years. This is a man that did 30 years in prison for a crime he didn't even commit. In fact, there were 4 people. Joe Salvati, still alive. He's 91 years old. My dear friend, I love this guy to death. He was going to do my podcast, but he said, Donny, you know what? I can't relive those moments again. He may have gotten a ton of money, but what good is money when you lose 30 years of your life?
Right.
Peter Lamoni, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's another guy. Always had a smile on his face. But he did 33 years, I believe. And Louis Greco, another guy that happened to have been, when the crime happened, this was a mob hit. When the crime happened, he was in Florida. He wasn't even here. The crime happened in Chelsea.
Yeah, Teddy Deegan.
Teddy Deegan, yeah. And the other guy I don't know, I know I didn't meet him, Henry Tamilio. He died younger,
right?
But
he's a lot older than the rest of them.
4 guys whose life was snuffed out because the FBI wanted their pound of flesh. So when Barboza opened up and he tried to recant after he threw these people in the mix, he had something against every one of them. This was his way of retaliating against them. And I know one of the stories, I think, with Louis Greco. Louis Greco used to be a boxer back in the day, and he got wounded in World War II. He got hit in the foot. And so he had like a gimp walk. But I guess he was around Barboza's corner or something. And I don't know if they had words or what, but he chased Barboza around the car. And Barboza was an animal. They used to call him Joe the Animal Barboza. As capable as he was, he didn't want to mess with Louis Greco. Louis Greco loved us guys on the corner. We all were down there. And I've said this before, how he would come in there and see us guys, and he'd come up to me. He says, "Hey, kid, why aren't you in school?" I was just going, Louis. Well, get in there. Boom, and it hit me in the arm. I thought my arm was going to fall off. He was a tough guy. They say he could have been a world champion had he not gotten wounded. But yeah, and Joe Salvati, he was another one that had, I guess he was being shaken down by Barboza. And I guess from what I hear, he told Barboza off. In other words, he didn't allow him to lean on him. And he took that as an offense. You know, who are you? I'm this maniac. You're supposed to obey me, you know? And Joe was not one of those yes guys, you know? But yeah, so that didn't happen. And what was the other thing? I remember him telling me, he says, "Donny, I used to bet the horses all the time." And his nickname was Joe the Horse, right? He went to collect his money. He says, "Donny, I finally won a fucking bet. I go to collect my money, and the place is swarmed with cops. And I looked to try to find an escape route. And the cop said, "Joe, don't even think of it. You have no shot." They took him from his home. 30 years. He was 64. He was 34. When he came out, he was 64 years old because he didn't want to take any shit from Barboza. So, and then it becomes survival of the fittest. You got to be a survivor, a dead ass survivor. You got to say, this is where I happen to be, but I don't happen to be with them or like them. He was his own man. I got to give him credit for that. As we all were. I was my own man. That even though it was only a short time, I saw a lot of people get hurt. I remember a guy getting banged in the head, a Hispanic guy or something, and blood went splattering. The guy I was with were building pallets in the yard. And my friend says, "Wow, did you see that?" I said, "No, and neither did you." He says, "Okay." And you got to keep your mouth shut, you know. A lot of people that ended up behind bars or behind the wall because of people that couldn't keep their mouths shut, you know. So
There are quite a few comments here.
oh, I gotta check these out, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
a
let me
little
see.
further up.
Okay, let me see what we got here. I love when my people come on here.
Right there.
Wow. Okay. When I was a kid in the 70s, we'd collect snails and clams. Old world ways. Oh my God, that was the best. There were 5 of us kids, and we used to go down the beach. And if it wasn't for the beach, we would have starved to death. Am I right, Eddie?
Yeah.
We didn't have a
We
quarter.
lived on seafood.
Yeah.
My father worked for Pine River Fish
Yeah.
Market, and every Friday we'd have filet of gray sole, and then my father would bring home bags and bags of soft shell crabs.
Italian stallion.
Yeah.
What's up? Two of Santa's elves.
I'm
Yeah.
a big elf.
Yeah. I love everyone in the chat.
Yeah.
I love when you guys get along like that. Hit the like and subscribe for Donny T and friends.
Oh, that was nice.
That's a good idea. That's good. I forget a lot of times, but if you guys are watching my back, I'll be okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see.
Go down.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
you
gotta
went
go
up.
over here.
Oh, really?
Hit the like and subscribe for Donny T and friends. Let me see what we got after that. Katie
Katie.
Pereira. I wish I always listened to my mom and dad and all the elders that loved me. As you get older, you either get wiser or you never learn. I feel as if you try to be better every day, it will be okay. Abs.
I wish I listened to.
Yeah. Hey guys, cold out here in Arizona.
Really?
Yeah.
Out in Arizona?
Ronnie Lynch, let me tell you something, my brother. It's pretty cold here in Boston,
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Katie.
I absolutely adore both of you. Two wise men, and I hope you mean wise in the true sense of the word. Oh, you didn't say wise guys. Okay. Who are always there when you need them. I know for me, Eddie is my angel, and Donny, you're very special.
Oh, that was very nice of you, Katie.
Thank you, Katie. That's the Katie I know and love.
Yeah, see.
Yeah. So, here's another thing. This is important. Anytime you want, you can take over.
No, I'm listening to you.
Okay. Tonight, now, in fact, the fact that I mentioned incarcerations and stuff, I don't know if any of you guys spent any time behind those bars. When I think of it, I still get the chills. And I was only in for a short time. But a short time is still time. Okay. But I'm dedicating this show for my pal and Eddie's brother, Vincent Gigi Portella Marino. Gigi, I wish you were here with us, buddy.
He will be soon.
Yeah, you've spent way more time in there than you should ever have had to. And it saddens all of us, just to let you know. And a lot of people that are watching right now will probably feel the same way. And it's a tough lifestyle.
He went in the same time Joe Salvati went in, age 34 years old.
Yeah. Oh, really? Huh?
Yeah, he was 34. And he's been in 28 years.
28. I thought it was 29.
He got one more year left. He'll be out almost around this time next year.
Oh, beautiful.
Finally.
Yeah.
He's in Philadelphia right now. He's on his way to Florida. He says, I want the warm weather. So you're picking me up down in Florida, which I will.
I'm coming with you.
Yeah, in the limo. And we'll give him 3 pounds of lobster tails and some
I gotta get some lobster too.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta tell you, Eddie made baked stuffed lobster the other night. He promised me 20 years ago. He was gonna, a 2-pounder. He was gonna give me 20 years ago. I finally got one last night.
Yeah.
Wow, to die for. This kid, he can cook. I met him at
Viz's restaurant.
Viz's restaurant, yeah. And that's why I said, geez, I gotta keep this guy around. He's a good cook, right? So,
and I was skinny back then. I was probably 170 back then.
you know,
and we both were. Right?
Yeah.
Was.
But I'm doing better now, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Jeff Sturm, Trek Yards, Lieutenant Commander. Hello, Don. This is Jeff.
Yum lobster.
My pal, Jeff. Jeff is doing good things, great things, from what I understand. And I wish him nothing but the best success, more than he ever can imagine. Okay. He's a writer and he's doing things. I don't know exactly what he's doing, or I would tell you. If he told me exactly what he was doing, I would tell you then. But I have, you know what? I have friends in so many different places and so many different, what's the word I'm trying to think of? vocations. You know, people that do different things. I say it all the time. I love people. I'm a people person, and that's all. And I just hope people love me a little bit back. You know, some do, some don't. Some say they do, and they don't. Thank you, Don. You got it, Jeff, and you continue being successful, so I can boast about you somewhere. Oh, Jeff is a good friend of mine. I've known him forever. Okay. Nobody wants to sing Christmas carols, huh? I wish you guys could. I was going to ask Eddie to, but
Oh, I'm a terrible singer.
yeah, I know. That's why I didn't ask.
I sang in the 8th grade. They thought I was a comedian up there. I was singing, right, cracking my voice. They go, "Oh, is he funny up there?" I was really trying to sing. And Mr. Stacio was my music teacher.
Yeah.
He goes, "Well, Ed, you're a good sport." He goes, "You tried."
Yeah.
I was trying to sing about the Celtics when they had JoJo White and all those guys.
Yeah.
When they won the championship.
I want some more comments, guys. Oh, as soon as I said it. That's Jeff again. Let's see.
Since 2021.
Okay. I've known you since 2012. My friend Eddie has dyslexia. He said 2020.
Oh, it's a big, okay, that's a long time. Okay.
Sunshine Productions. Question. Was the stuffed prison sentences
20 plus years.
20 plus years seen as abuse of power from the judge? Many times. You had a lot of hateful judges. And I'll tell you another thing. And I don't like, I hate racism, okay? But I'm going to say something, and I always get along very well with blacks, okay? And I'm not trying to distinguish one from another. But blacks and Italians, for the most part, the ones that I know, always got along well. I'm going to tell you one of the reasons why. And you guys could Google this when we get off. Teddy Roosevelt, President Teddy Roosevelt, used to badmouth the Italians when we first got here. And he said, string them up, treat them the same way as the blacks. They're just as dirty. Something like, I'm paraphrasing, but it's along those lines. He put the Italians down. And that's why I have some good friends that black, African American, whatever you want to call them. I call them friend. I don't call them those things, you know. But and I told them that story. I said, "Get out, really? I'm telling you, man." And so I always felt as though, listen, we never had it as bad as them, but we had it bad enough. One thing that happened with us about the blacks was the Black Hand in Italy. And that's when the mob started taking over. They didn't want to be fucked with anymore in this country. So they started doing their own thing. And they ran the rackets. They were not toiled with, you know. They did their thing, and they made sure, you know. And
he mentioned about the 20 years abuse of power.
Yeah.
In the federal system, they have guidelines. So you have category 1 through 6.
Yeah.
So if you're a first-time offender, you'd be in the category 1.
Yeah.
So so say it's 0 to 6 months, first-time offender, and say you're a career criminal, a career offender, which means 2 or more violent felonies, even if it's 2 drug charges, they put you in category 6. So down here, 0 to 6 months. Up here, 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
And he's correct about the abuse of power.
Yeah.
Because back then, when they did the crack, a half a gram landed a poor person in jail for 5 years.
Yeah.
And that wasn't right. And it was basically against the blacks.
Yeah.
And finally, they changed the law.
That's why I mentioned the blacks.
Right. And that wasn't fair.
They got fucked with.
Most of my friends are black.
Yeah.
Most of the guys that buy cars off my auction access are Spanish, black. There's not that many Italians. It's
Yeah.
all foreigners.
Not to turn this into a political discussion, because I know we're butt heads, and I don't want that to happen.
No,
I've had it happen with family members. You unfriend them and you hate them and this and that. But I'll say one thing. The black vote is strong towards Trump at this time because of some of the things he did for the blacks. I forget what they call it, but
there's a Second Chance Act.
the Second Chance Act, that's right.
My brother got a year off of his
Yeah,
sentence for
yeah.
second chance.
Exactly.
Everybody, almost every federal inmate.
Yeah.
And they're saying if Trump gets back in, he's going to get them out sooner
Yeah.
because
Nonviolent crime.
nonviolent crimes, right?
And non-sex crime.
Right. Yeah, the sex offenders, leave them there.
How about the woman that was in prison and she got they handed her the book and she was a mule.
Oh yes, yes,
And,
I remember reading that.
Yeah,
case.
and she got the book thrown at her. A first-time offense
Yeah,
for dealing drugs.
yeah, that's
And he got her out of prison. And she's been telling everybody about it. And you know what? Put your money where your mouth is. He could be brash, and people don't like what he says. I could take a bad tweet any time of the day, but I don't like what's going on today. And if you do like it, God bless you guys.
the federal guidelines have changed dramatically
Yeah.
from years ago. They used to have an organization called Families Against Mandatory Minimums, and they changed it finally, but it's still not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Sometimes you wish you got arrested by the state rather than the feds
Yeah.
because they hit you so hard.
Yeah.
10-year sentences,
Yeah.
and you have to do like 8.5 years. And you're not only far, you usually get shipped
Yeah.
further away from your family.
Yeah. And they think they're doing good for the communities. They're not.
No.
Because when you take a guy off the street, their family does not have a guy in the house.
So
And that's when shit starts happening for the kids.
that's right. It trickles down.
Yeah. And they go out.
and it's another cycle,
Yeah.
you know. And I swear, I think they want that, the government,
Yeah.
a revolving door,
Yeah. Exactly.
because they won't have their jobs. You know,
Sure.
I'm not saying commit crime. I'm just saying they could be more,
Yeah. Exactly.
more compassionate.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
Now, sex offenders, I have no compassion. So
None.
they could stay there
None.
for the rest of their life. I'm talking about drug offenses. Some people sell drugs to support their drug habit.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. You
help the people that have a drug problem.
Yeah.
Don't put them in jail. Put them in a program. But
100%.
you know what I'm saying? It's not fair.
No, it's not.
And it's starting to come from 20 years ago, like a couple of my friends from Revere.
It's turned around a little.
Our friend Robbie, you know who I'm talking about,
Yeah.
got 10 years.
First offense.
First offense.
And
10
I
years.
talked to him just before he got it.
And I did too.
And I said to him, Robbie, he said, "Oh, I'm good. I know what I'm doing. Don't worry, Donny." He says, "Nobody knows what they're doing, Robbie. They got all the equipment.
That's right.
They got everything. You
and he
can't
got
beat
that
them."
poor kid got 10 years.
Nicest
First time
kid.
offense.
Nicest kid.
Why? Well, I mean, it's stupid. He should have never got 10 years. Okay.
I was good friends with his father.
Yeah.
And he ended up, doing the wrong thing.
Yeah. And a couple of his co-defendants, same thing. They should have never gotten that kind of time.
Perfect.
But I think eventually it's going to lessen the time. But especially with drug offenses, and especially people who are on drugs. Back then in the 80s, not everybody, but 75% of my friends did cocaine.
Yeah.
That was the in thing back in the 80s when Reagan was president.
How would you know that?
Because I sold it. Everybody,
I'm just
Johnny
trying to be
Blow,
funny.
everybody sniffing. And
we all thought it was okay to do.
it was okay. But now today, it's heroin and fentanyl. That killed my kid. And she said, "Dad, I want to be a drug counselor. I'll never do drugs." And she tried it with a new boyfriend. took painkillers, became Percocets. Then that got too expensive.
Yeah.
They graduate to heroin, and then they start shooting needles, and then there's no heroin around. It's all fentanyl.
Yeah.
So you got to blame who's bringing it in from China and all this.
Yeah.
If it was
Mexico.
stopped that's right. If it was stopped at the border
Yeah.
and not brought in, nobody in America would do it because we're a nation of partiers. We like to party, and they say, "Oh, we love America," so they could bring all the drugs into the United States.
Incarceration is selective too.
You're right.
A lot of people that commit crimes today, they get a slap on the wrist
That's right.
and they get freed. They don't do
Celebrities.
Forget the celebrities. The illegals that are
Yeah.
coming over here, they're not even getting incarcerated.
You're
They're
right.
raping, murdering, and they're
Yeah.
doing all kinds of shit. And they're dealing the fentanyl,
Yeah,
and they're not going away.
they're not going away, and they're keeping the fentanyl here.
Yeah.
And the young kids that remember a lot of, and I find mostly it's young girls are doing the fentanyl, and guess what?
Yeah.
They're dying.
They're dying, and they're turning tricks to get it.
Right?
And a lot of them are being forced into sex.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Sex crimes. That's very sad. Very, very sad.
Let's read some
Let me see. Let's see. Who's.
Sunshine Productions again.
It really bothers me when people don't stand up for injustices. It costs money to house an inmate. Why not change the protocol? Pay 2 times the cost of an inmate and put on house arrest.
I agree with him 100%.
Yeah.
You know, you got a guy like my brother doing 28 years. Do you really think you're going to release him tomorrow and say, okay, you go back into society?
No.
You got to do like a step down program.
That's right.
You got to say, okay, you did 28 years. Let's let you out 2 years earlier so you can adjust to society.
Exactly.
Because you don't know what you're like lost in space. You know how much society changes in a decade?
Oh my God.
A lot. Now, when I was in, I come out, I didn't know what Facebook was.
Yeah.
I didn't know what texting was. I didn't know what Google was. I didn't know anything.
You made up for it.
I'm in jail cutting out all these articles saying, oh my God, I got to save this article. And all I had to do was go on the computer and Google it and print it out. What an idiot. But I did that.
Sunshine Productions. No one ever said Peter Lawford was a heroin addict. I didn't know he was a heroin addict, but I knew that he was ostracized from the Rat Pack. They didn't want him hanging with them by the rules of Sinatra. So there had to be a strong reason why they didn't want him around, Peter Lawford.
And the Rat Pack was what? D. Martin, Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr. Who's the fourth one?
Well, Peter Lawford, Joey Bishop.
Joey Bishop. That's right.
Yeah.
You know, but what else was I going to say?
We had a good show last night. I just wanted to tell you, Johnny Peasy was on last night. And if there's anything about the Beatles that you wanted to know,
Johnny P.
Johnny knew it all. Johnny knows it all. He was fantastic. I believe a few of you people watched him, and very, very interesting. So it's a real good show. Yeah, I don't know what I would do without this podcast. Now, I'm leaving on the 20th for probably 6 months or so.
You're going to go that long?
I know.
I thought you were going to go 2-3 months.
You know what? When your kid needs you, your kid needs you, and he does need me now. So, you know, that's the good part of it. And I love being needed by my son. You know, when he tells me what he thinks of me, it makes me feel good. But
that's good. Yeah,
I don't want to leave here. I love doing this podcast. And I tell you, I don't make 10 cents, and I don't lie, not even a little. Unless I had a girlfriend and, and a wife, and that never worked out for me. But yeah, this is a lot of fun doing this here, and I was all ready to get these sweatshirts and T-shirts and stuff. I'll have to do them when I come back, but hopefully you guys wear them with pride, because this is our crew. Remember that. Donny T and Friends. This is
And,
our
and on
crew.
the future shows, we're gonna start putting like music and you're
I'm
gonna tell
going
'em-
there to get
Educated.
educated with technology, so that we can do other things, and it'll be a little more interesting. If I can learn it. If I can't learn it, you're going to be stuck with me and Eddie, and that's it.
Yeah. But I think if we could do changes on the show, like I said, and just
some pre-recorded stuff. Like if I know some people, that one person in particular, that she was a singer. She went out to L.A. She's from Revere, and she went out to L.A. You know Christina.
Oh no, okay.
Christine.
Okay, yeah. Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
She used to sing just like what's her name? I always forget her name.
Mariah Carey. No.
Harpoon, my harpoon, and my crazy red bandana.
Who's that?
Da, 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 da.
Trying to think who that was.
I can't think of her name.
So she's out in LA right now?
No, she's here. She
Oh, she's
hasn't
here.
been working at all, but she was tremendous, and she had a song out, and it was stolen from Madonna. Puppet Don't Preach, or something like that.
Oh really? Madonna stole the song?
Yeah, she took it over, and this other girl sang it. She was fantastic. But so she has some stuff pre-recorded, and I would like to be able to access her pre-recorded
Right.
stuff and put it on there.
Janis Joplin, you put some.
Janis Joplin, she's right. He's right.
You
Yeah.
just said it, Janis Joplin.
That's why I sang a little bit. I don't sing that well, but
You know, right?
But you knew right away who it was. Janis Joplin. Janis Joplin was fantastic. Another one where it got messed up with
died.
drugs.
She died, yeah.
100 years ago. Yesterday was a great show. Yes, it was. I agree with you. I had a fun time. The show before that, too, with Jody Sloan. That was a very good show, too. Let's see. Janis Joplin. Go on. You sing better than I do. Jeff, you always
You don't sing.
You always did compliment me. Just kidding. I don't sing all. Yeah, I always liked to sing. My whole, if I wasn't as shy as I was when I was a kid, and I was very shy, believe it or not, everybody says to me, "Get out of here! You weren't shy. Listen to you." And I was very shy. I remember this guy asking me if I could sing and stuff, because he thought I was a handsome young kid, which I hate to admit it, but I was. And I
had a lot of hair.
I had hair and everything else. But that's when the teen idols were out, and it's a lot of years ago. But I remember the guy asking me. I was so shy, and my family knew I sang all the time, but we all miss the boat sometimes.
Singing makes people happy.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When they're in a good mood, they sing.
Yeah.
People like to listen to music, and it puts them in.
Do you have a favorite song?
Don't Stop and Believing. That's I can't sing it, but who sings that? Journey.
Oh, okay. No,
I
know the
songs.
song, but I don't know.
I like their songs.
Mine was a song called. It was by Roy Clark. The song was "Yesterday When I Was Young."
Oh yeah. I like that song.
It is the story of my life. When I tell you, if anybody gets a shot to listen to "Yesterday When I Was Young," that's Donny T in a nutshell. And and at the end of the song it says, "Yesterday when I was young," and he sang it, but a guy that wrote it was a guy by the name of Charles Aznavour. He was Armenian with a French accent, but Yesterday, when I was young, the taste of life was sweet as rain upon my tongue. I teased at life as if it were a foolish game, the way the evening breeze may tease a candle flame. With mucus in my throat,
Yeah.
I can't sing another note. But that was a great song. Listen to it. I think you'll all like it. Let's see. Eddie, tell some funny stories about back in the day, 1980s.
Well,
Come on, Fast Eddie.
Was that the clam chowder caper?
Oh, that's a good one.
I used to work at Vaza's restaurant. I never cashed my check. I'd leave it in the register for about a month. My boss says, "You don't need the money?" I go, "No, I'm doing all right." I was a bookie and a drug dealer at the time. Not proud of it. So I was working at Vaza's for, oh my God, Jesus. I had to work about 70 hours a week, going full-time school, everything. And I used to have them come into the fish store. I had this old lady there, Edna Vaza, and she'd say, "A pint of clam chowder." So that was a half a gram, right? So I get the little pint, fill it up, because I had to do the clam chowder. I put the oyster crackers in there, and I throw the half a gram. He'd give me, back then I charged only $40. He'd give me like $45. Keep the change. I give Edna the $5. She goes, whoa, why do you give you another 40? She caught on afterward. She was out past the shit out. She was like 80 years old. But I got to tell you.
Everyone in Revere was a hustler.
Everybody, we were all hustlers, you know. Yeah. And Johnny Vaz would go, "Eddie, we're selling a lot of clam chowder." I go, "Yeah, you're telling me," I said, you know, but one time,
clam chowder, though.
It was excellent.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, he made it thick.
Yeah.
I don't like Kelly's has the soupy
I like that.
milk.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like loose.
Yeah.
I like it thick.
Yeah.
And Johnny did make a great
pewter pot used to make a good one too.
Yes, that's right. In the little crock bowl.
Yeah. I used to put butter in it.
Yeah. No, they did. They did good clam chowder. But getting back at Vaza's, so I used to hide the stuff in the upstairs in a camera bag.
Yeah.
So Johnny tells Arthur Ferragamo, which I didn't know, he was living next door, to clean the office out. So we're cooking. I'm cooking, me, John Carlino, John Michella. We had a bunch of us from Revere. And I never forget, Johnny Vaza comes downstairs, because he had a little upstairs. He's with the camera bag, and he's twirling it on his finger like this. I go, "Oh, we're fucked," right? And he goes, "Hey, anybody knows this camera bag? Whose camera bag is it?" Of course, everybody denied it. So Johnny goes, "Eddie, do you know who it is?" I go, Nope. And he told me a story a long time ago. He says, "Eddie, I caught some, pot was illegal back then. It wasn't legal like today. He found some pot in the back room someone hid. So he goes, Eddie, I'll never forget. He was burning the pot, right? And of course it smells. He said they had tears coming down their eyes because the pot was gone.
Yeah.
So I knew he knew it was me.
Yeah.
He goes, Edward? He waited a week later he goes, Edward, come upstairs. I go, why, John? Because I want you to flush this. Do you know how much money this is? And I'm saying, it's probably about $2,000, right? But you know what I did? We switched it. We put flour in it. So we took all the coke out and rebagged it and put the flour. And he's looking at my expression, and I'm just flush. I go, make sure it goes down. Make sure, right? To this day, he says to me, I know it was yours. Why did you flush all that without saying, Johnny, it's mine? I go, we made the switch. And how we did it was I had my friend Howie, and Howie goes, Eddie, I got the key. Here's the alarm code. Go up there, but be quick.
Yeah.
Went up there. I mean, we did it quick. We did it like in 20 minutes. I took all the real ones, and I already had the other ones fake, and I threw it in the bag. I said, he's definitely going to say someone's going to flush it, and I did. But yeah, I have to admit, he was really a good boss.
He loved you.
I love the guy. He took us to California, Florida. But you know what? I was with him for 12 years. Never took a penny.
Yeah.
You don't bite the hand that feeds you.
And he fed you pretty well.
And he fed me pretty. That's why I got this big, right?
Yeah.
He was like a second father to me. He was really a dynamic. And Chubby too. Ralph
Chubby was a great guy. My mother was booking for Chubby.
Yeah, Chubby was that Vaza family, excellent people.
They really were. You guys remember Fat Jerry from Revere?
Fat Jerry, wait a minute. I'm trying to think.
That sounds familiar.
Oh, Fat Richie. Was it Fat Richie or Fat Jerry?
Fat Richie, we know.
Well, you know Richie Picardi. He died. He was a great man, too. I loved him.
Oh, he was my buddy.
Fat Jerry. I'm trying to think Jerry.
Stallion. See if you can remember if it's Fat Richie or Fat Jerry. I know there was a Jerry the Killer.
Yeah.
But
Cab Company. No, that's Fat Richie Picardi.
Yeah, okay, that's it.
That's
Fat Richie.
Yeah, that's Fat Richie. He was on the side street off of Broadway.
He was up.
My
mother was his Sunday school teacher.
That guy, he was a legend in Revere. He was really he helped everybody.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about Richie. He made a lot of money. A lot of money. He did a lot of booking. And that's when we used to book right in front of everybody. The cops used to come in and book.
Everybody sold football
cards. Oh my God. I was selling them in high school. Yeah. And I was trying to come out. It was funny. I said to the Fat Richie, I said, Richie, can we do high school football cards? He goes, are you crazy? There'll be so much heat on us. I was going to type out the cards and put Peabody against Revere, Winthrop, this. He goes, you can't do that. He goes, but that's it's a good idea, but they're going to say you're fixing the games and all that.
I got a Richie story. Back in the day, I was like 20 years old. I just got out of the Army. There was Johnny Hannon and me. Richie had a diner, but he had it closed at night.
Was that Lucy's Diner?
Yeah, it became
Lucy's Diner. I used to go.
And I said, Richie, got a great idea. Why don't you leave the diner open at night, and Johnny and I will run it. Everybody after the clubs, they want to go to the diner.
That's right. That's a good idea.
So that's what we did. And I was the short order cook.
Yeah, that's what it is, short order.
Yeah, and bam, 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 bam.
What did you cook, breakfast?
Yeah, mostly breakfast at night. And so, of course, we're skimming, because that's what you got to do. You got to do your thing. Your hustle is your hustle, right? So, I'm putting mine to the side, and doing the thing. So I'm gonna pocket our money at the end of the run, So this guy comes in one night into the wee hours of the morning, maybe 4 or 5 in the morning, and he's sitting there smoking a stogie and watching us like this.
Had to be Richie.
I says, "What the fuck is this guy?" Right? So I don't think anything of it because he's an old timer. He was like 100, not really, but so that night I come in for my pay, and there's Fat Richie sitting down in the corner on the right hand side. Remember where the jukebox was?
Yeah.
And who's sitting with him? The guy with the stogie. It's his father.
No way.
Yeah. And he looks at me. He says, "I wouldn't walk over here if I were you." I says, "I agree." And I left, right? But I'm going to tell you, Richie knew I was a good kid. I was doing what he probably would have done when he was younger. He never, ever, ever, in all the years I knew him, he never, ever threw it up to my face. He never mentioned it. Nothing. I loved that man. My mother was his Sunday school teacher, and yeah, he was a gentleman beyond gentleman.
I'll never forget. I went down the cab stand on Thanksgiving because all the football games.
Yeah.
I'd give them the plays.
Yeah.
I used to go down there because I lived in Revere, the projects. So I had a Chevy Nova, brand new. I'd fly there. Here's all the plays we want. And he had this big turkey. It had to be 40 pounds. Okay. At the end of the Thanksgiving game, it was late, like 11 o'clock at night. He had a dog named Chopper, man.
Yeah. I know.
Hey, I go down there. All I see is a bones. I don't see no turkey on there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was 40 pounds.
Yeah.
And he goes, I go, Richie, what happened to the turkey? He goes, what did you think happened? I think I'll make it.
Him and Chopper ate the whole thing.
He threw the bones to Chopper. He's right there. I'm like, oh my God. Back in the 80s, I have to admit, I miss those days.
Oh my gosh.
I had more laughs.
The living room lounge we used to go to.
Bobby Picardi, God rest his soul.
Yeah, I was just with that.
He
got to be almost 500 pounds.
Yeah. You know, he ate half the turkey, but anyway, Bobby was a good guy. I had a lot of laughs with him.
Yeah. He was a good-hearted kid, too.
He was. You know, I'm going to tell you, I thought I was the best in figures. He was very good.
Yeah.
But when it came to counting money, he was better than the counter machine.
Yeah,
That's how good he was.
I think him and his brother didn't get along at the end of the
Yeah. Him.
But they loved each other. You know, brothers do that sometimes.
We fight. Oh, look, we have a
My
family
brother and
right
I
now.
used to fight all the time.
Yeah.
And, you know.
I'm on the show. Call back. It's not. But let me tell you.
He almost got fired last week.
I'm going to tell you. Back then, like I said, oh my God, we were wild.
Yeah.
And we didn't even care. We just thought it was a normal thing to do in Revere.
Yeah.
And I didn't smarten up until later in life, obviously. After doing let me see, a 2,
close to 10.
A 2, 3. The 10 year knocked me out of the box. That was it. I said, I am all done. I've been out 13 years.
Yeah.
Haven't had any incidents. I am done. But you know, when we're younger, we don't think of the ramifications.
Oh, you're going to get caught. You don't think you're going to get caught?
Oh, you never think you're going to get caught. You never think.
I remember when the first time you went away.
Oh.
And you and I were pretty friendly back then.
Yeah.
This was before I drove you to Fort Dix.
Yeah, that was the second time.
Yeah. Well, here he is. He's getting ready to go away. He's at Sunnyhurst Farm, and I saw you that night. And your lip was twitching.
Oh, yeah.
That's how it gets me.
I said, and back then, when they gave me 2 years, I thought it was a lifetime.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like riding a bike. I got the 2 years. I did it. I had to do 14 months. Actually, they offered me parole after 12 months.
Yeah.
I denied the parole. I said, no, I don't want the parole. And I figured it out because I said, wait, I got to get 7.5 days good time. So you're working vocational, and there was something else they give you. So I never forget this woman whose name was Phoebe. I said, well, how much good time I got? She goes, well, if you take the parole, you'll be out the end of October, but you got a 2-year parole.
You don't want to be on paper.
If you have a wrap up, November, December, June, you get 3.5 months to wrap up. I'm saying, wait, stay in for 100 days. I'll be on parole for 2 years and a wish and a prayer that nothing happens. I wrapped it up.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not that stupid. I'll never forget. I go down on Valentine's Day, February 13th. I go down on February 13th, and I said,
my son's birthday.
Wow, isn't that something?
Yeah.
And I forget, my parents picked me up. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm starving. That's what I said. Oh, yeah, we're going to have lobster, shrimp, this and that. And then the second time is when you drove me to Fort Dix.
Yeah.
That was 3 years. And they lied to me. The marshal said, you're going to a camp. Well, that didn't happen. Had to wait another year. And you want to laugh? My brother Louis died on August 5th. And I was in there. I had a self-surrender. You brought me there March 18th. And he died. And they said, well, you got to pay for the guards going there. We have to give you 2 guards. And I was like saying, I'm doing a 3-year sentence. I'll be on 2. Why are they, but they did. I said, I have the money. And guess what happened? They said, you're not going.
How old were you when you moved out of the projects, Eddie?
I bought a house at age 24.
Yeah.
And what happened was the Calico Cabbage Patch doll in the 80s. It was the ugliest doll I ever seen in my life. But someone told me, Eddie, invest in this doll and you're going to make, and actually the month was, I think it was June or July. And Christmas is 6 months later.
Yeah.
So I put up 10,000. And back then it was a lot, but I was working at Vases and I just kept saving my checks. I had no girlfriend and I kept saving it. And 10 grand back then was a lot, but to me it was nothing.
Yeah.
And I put it up, and next thing I know, 50,000. So I moved out at age 23 and bought a house for the family, and we had it for another 25 years.
Yeah. I moved out at 26, I think.
Wow, see, yeah.
26, and then I got married. Oh.
Yeah, please, I got married once, and you don't know them until you get married.
And I was his best man.
Yeah, and he says, Eddie, you're not going to fit in this suit anymore.
Yeah.
I had this beautiful, I was a size 34 waist.
Yeah.
I was 182 pounds. And Donnie goes, do you see that suit you're on? I go, yeah. You're not going to fit in it anymore.
I think I said something like, you should give it to me now.
Yeah, you said that. Because when we had the little party, he said, you're eating like you're going to the electric chair. And he goes, you got to give me that suit. And guess what? I never fit in that suit. It was my wedding suit, But, we look back at times and I reminisce and I say, wow, I was a stupid kid. I thought I was smart.
You know what? We're all stupid kids at one point.
I didn't want to listen.
It's not like if you guys can tell, it's not like we just met each other recently. We've been through some good stuff and some not so good stuff.
Right.
But I love this guy.
I love him too.
And that's it. So, you go through life's cycle and hopefully you don't fall off the cycle. Right. You know what I mean? That's it. Let me see. This Sunshine Productions through my window tonight. Okay.
Yeah, we answered that question.
Yeah. So.
But I was in the projects for a long time. Let me see. Oh my God, we had to be there 21 years.
I was there 20, yeah.
It was the best time of my life.
Then I moved to the other projects for 5 years.
Yeah, see, we lived in Rose Street, 52 Rose Street.
And I was at 92.
Yeah, see? And, boy, everybody, I mean, hey, there was always something going on.
Yeah.
Every day, But, I miss that. What I miss the best, we used to have these mopeds.
Yeah.
The poop man. Oh my God. I drove that bike everywhere. I loved it. And we would all play. We'd have football, basketball, hockey, a lot of basketball. We played. That's why I was so thin. I'd be out there every day.
Me too. We always
running around.
Always played sports.
Always played sports.
I played softball till I was 53.
Wow.
Yeah.
See.
And I begged the pitcher to come over and tag me. I said, I'm done. Stick a fork in me, buddy. I'm done.
And the other thing is I played in St. Anthony's band.
Yeah.
And I met a lot of
What
good
did you
people
play?
there. I played the trumpet.
Get out.
Yeah. I played the trumpet. My brother Donny played the clarinet. My brother Louis played the drums, and Gigi played the trumpet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All of us was in the band, and we had a really good time there. I have to admit, my teenage years were really good.
Yeah.
Back then,
Well, Eddie,
as we get older, we get a little, wiser. But first of all, I'd like to wish everybody a happy holiday. They tell you don't say Merry Christmas,
Fuck them.
but
I say
I
Merry
call it Merry
Christmas.
Christmas,
Merry Christmas.
but and a Happy New Year.
Yeah.
John's gonna go to Vegas. Hopefully you'll be back before 6 months. I'm thinking you don't know
It
yet.
depends what my son needs, from me. But you know what? You guys mean a lot to me, and you must mean a lot to Eddie, because I never did so much for no money in my life. So I must be being rewarded in some other way. And the other way is being with you guys. I hope you feel like I feel, because if you do, we're going to go on for a long time with this podcast, whatever, how you call it. But I'm going to get some stuff done when I'm out there. I got a guy out there I got to hook up with that he swam from Alcatraz. And he was trying to prove that the swim can be made, because they said no one that ever left Alcatraz made it alive.
Wow.
And there were three guys, I guess, that said they got out, and there's an island that they swam to. But this guy was going out to disprove the theory, and it's shark infested. So he swam it. He's from Germany. He's a friend of mine. And
wow.
Yeah. And
that's a long swim.
Yeah.
Cold too.
Yeah. And yeah, so he did that. I wanna interview him. And I have another friend of mine that was a stand-in several times for Al Pacino. And he's a good guy. And I got my friend out there, Ralph. Ralph Meganson was a boxer for years. And if he didn't end up with type 1 diabetes, he would have been a champ. Yeah, he used to spar with the pros and hit him so hard they didn't want to spar with him anymore. He was an amateur. Yeah, he was.
Wow.
Plus, he's a great artist. If you ever want to look him up, it's Ralph Meganson. You'll see his artwork and stuff like that. Great guy. But anyway, that's it, guys. And you could thank Eddie and maybe me a little bit for wanting to do this show.
See you next year.
That's it. When I come back, we'll do some more. And I'm definitely going to do something once I get out there. Hopefully, I learn something about technology, because what I'm doing all this on a computer, and I have all the other equipment, but I don't know how to use it. So
he has the Mob Museum, he said. Look.
Yeah, I've been to the Mob Museum.
Yeah, I haven't been there.
And
Katie, thank you for the Christmas hat.
Katie, wait a second. I want to say something. Katie, I was proud of you tonight. What you wrote to us was huge. Okay, that means everything to me. Good words and sincere words mean everything to me.
She's a very kind-hearted girl.
She is. So that's it. And actually, that's it.
That's right. Good night.
Good night. We love you. God bless, guys.
Bye.